Sheikh Khalfan Al-Isri in a dialogue about Muslims' reactions during crisis. The mockery cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the example being discussed.
To the universe was a God for all people, God's peace and blessings on him. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
I think Muslims have recently been tested on their faith, on their love for their faith. They've been tested on legitimacy of loving the Prophet, peace be upon him, as well as respecting their religion. Let us go back a few steps back and ask ourselves as to the need for prophets, the need for messages, the need for a religion, the need for a belief, the need for a core value, the need to have principles. The word Islam itself means peace. Salam, peace. We say Salamu Alaikum, peace be with you. And it is not the message of Muhammad that came with peace. It was the message of Jesus, the message of Moses, the message of Abraham, of Ishmael, of Isaac, of David, Solomon, Noah, Adam, all the way through. It's the same message of peace. The only way that this universe can continue is through peace, tranquility and harmony. And I usually express Islam, peace, at three levels. Peace with God, peace with Allah, peace with self, and peace with others. And that is the message of peace. What I would like to ask you now, how can you have peace with others if you insult them, if you demean them, if you criticize them, if you undermine them? How can you have peace with others if you do not respect? How can one equip themselves with best manners? How can one be reactive towards those who are ignorant, those who are insulting, those who have no manners, those who are expressing their enmity? Should one just ignore them? Should one react to the situation? Should one take weapon and go and declare war? How should one conduct themselves? Again, my reference is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself. He was commanded by God himself, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 10 times. And indeed, his tolerance was tested more than once. Not only him, but even previous prophets. Jesus, Moses, David, Solomon, Noah, Abraham. Their tolerance, their patience was tested. And I'm ashamed to say this. We have visitors to our country who are asking us, do you have something that I can get hold of to understand your culture, your religion, your way of life? And the only reference I can give them is what was written by by others, not us. So most of the time, their reference is a perception. It is an impression of a person who does not hold the same values as we do. We have two Greek professors. They've asked me, do you have something that I can get hold of in French, in Italian? Those are 2 languages I understand. And if there is nothing, probably in English. How many nationalities visit us in Oman? They all say, we've come to Oman, we've seen how peaceful the place is, we've seen the manners, we've seen the way you conduct yourself, we see how peaceful you are. We'd like to understand what's the secret. Do you have anything we can get hold of to read or to understand? What is the answer? Sorry, we don't. Now, if Muslims, you are given the message, and we know that this Quran that is with us is the book that has got the message for mankind. It complements the message of previous prophets, the message of Jesus, Moses, the message of Abraham, the message of David, Solomon. It carries the same message, and it is in our hands Mutual respect. Mutual understanding. Let us understand each other. Establish a dialogue.
Muslims should contribute in the war cases and
how should they contribute? Muslims should contribute towards development.
Yeah.
Okay? There should be effective participation. Okay? Establish, for example, television programs, seminars, conferences. Again, to go and clarify misconception by showing people who is the Prophet. Any other offers? Follow. State our principles and stop sending mixed signals. Yeah? State your principles. Make them clear, visible, for the world to know. At the back.
إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وإذا أراد الله بقوم سوءا فلا مرد له وما لهم من دونه من وال.
Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. And when Allah intends for a people ill, there is no repelling it, and there is not for them besides Him any patron.
The first change has to be from inshallah. We should change ourselves. Okay, two more ideas. How about from non-Muslims who are here with us? What do you think Muslims should do?
I think a question was answered earlier on. This is purely ignorance, and that's all it is. I'm a non-Muslim. I've lived in many Muslim countries and worked in many Muslim countries. But this is the first country that I've been to where I'm within a Muslim society. And why should you react to this? Why react to something on that side? Because all you're doing is playing to the ignorance of other people. There are many ways of reacting to this other than yours. You do not need to change it yourself. You don't need to change the way in which you preach your faith on that side. That is evident. But it's ignorance. And it's the first time in my life, having lived here for 6 months, that I think I understand your faith on that side. So you shouldn't react. There should be no reaction. This is ignorance. Allow the politicians to deal with this on that side. I think we've done in many ways and many words.
Again? Yeah.
Sheikh Khalfan Al-Isri, in a dialogue about Muslims' reactions during crisis, the mockery cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the example being discussed.
To the universe was a guide for all people, God's peace and blessings on him. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
I think